What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Scoop with Coop. I'm Coop. How y'all doing out there? Boom. This is not my usual spot. You don't see the stairs. I'm at my grandparents' house for the holidays, so I gotta make do with what I got. With what I got. So, let's go ahead and get into this review of Real Housewives, episode 8. And I gotta say, it was a key episode, and filled with a lot of foolishness. So, the show's picked up where it left off last week, where Portia and Kenya, Gone with the Wind Fabulous, was getting into it. So they started off the show that way, and Kenya went to her room and she was telling Walter about what was going on, and all the girls stayed downstairs to talk about what happened, and Phaedra was kind of backing Kenya up because Portia was like, I was just telling her how I felt, and whatever, it just went out, it was blown out of proportion, and all of this, and Phaedra was like, well, I don't think, she really wasn't listening, blah blah blah, and Portia was like, Portia said, every idiot needs someone to back them up, and okay, Portia, okay, so. Then it goes to the next day. So the next day, everybody was getting ready to go to the beach. So Nene went to Candy's room, and they was kikiing. Nene had to go spill the tea and tell her what happened with Portia and Kenya. So she went and was telling Candy how Portia was twirling around, and she was just gone with the Wind Fabulous, 40 and Fabulous, and she was doing all of this. And some way Nene kind of what is called segued into what Candy told Cynthia about Nene having a motive with being friends with people and stuff like that. So she brought that up. She segued her way into that conversation, and she asked Candy about what she said, and Candy was like, I did say that because to me, that's how I felt, and when we started off, it wasn't a good, thing, because of course they got into an argument, and so they kind of talked about it, and they kind of made up. I think Nene is growing up, because usually Nene had been a jump down somebody's throat, but they talked about it very civilized and as grown women, and they hashed it out and they made up, because they have been getting along this season. So yeah, they made up and they were good to go. And Todd was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to cry. Y'all made up. I can't believe it. He's like, that's how it's supposed to be done. So that was that. I'm glad. And, like I said, Nene has come a long way, because she be ready to bite somebody's head off. So after that, they went to Portia and Cordell. And of course, Portia was telling Cordell what happened last night. And she was like, I'm surprised you didn't come down there. He was like, oh, no, 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 no. I'll let y'all women hash that out. Talking about this, I'm too pretty to be getting scratched up or whatever. And she said she's really done. I'm looking at my notes. She said she's really done about talking to Kenya about, what happened. So she was done with it. So then it went to Kenya and Walter. And Kenya is still talking about, no, first she was like, we only have one day left, and it's, I'm waiting for him to propose, yada, yada, yada. She's ready for him to propose. She still has this, Walter's going to propose before they leave. Okay. So then she talks about, what happened with Portia and Kenya. And Walter is really not trying to hear that. He was like, I'm not talking about last night. Are y'all going to get along today? So he's like, okay, yeah. So then when they get ready to go to the beach, and Kenya call all the girls to the side, and the guys go in the bus. And so, she tried to apologize to Kenya, but she apologized with an attitude. and not Kenya, but Portia. Kenya tried to apologize to Portia, and she apologized with an attitude. And no one is gonna take your apology seriously if you're saying it with an attitude. Like, I'm coming to apologize to you about last night. Wait, pump your brakes. No, that is not an apology. So even Nene said it in her confessional. She was like, I've had to apologize to many people in my day, and that was not an apology. So then Portia said, Kenya was trying to come to me with this apology with her raisin face. She's like, you know how raisin look dried up and like, somebody, that's how Kenya was looking with her dried up face. Portia. All right, Portia. So then the guys on the bus, and they was like, Peter was saying, women, they care about what each other wearing, and everybody want to know what Nene wearing, what Kenya wearing, what Portia wearing, what Cynthia wearing. And then Apollo talking about, yeah, and they always talking about glue. What's up with the glue? The men were funny on the bus. And Peter tried to go in because they were getting hot on the bus. And Cynthia just shut him down like, okay, honey, we're coming. He was like, okay. He was like, I got shut down. So the apology was not an apology. Yeah, Kenya try that again. So they went on the beach, and it was a nice setup. They had, lunch in the water, had like on a pier in the water. And I thought that was very nice. And then so at the lunch, Kenya gonna give Cynthia a book by Vanessa Williams. She said she autographed it. I don't know if she already had this book, but did she bring she must have brought the book on the trip with her. This must have been Kenya's book, because ain't no way that she just called Vanessa up and said, can you overnight me a book and autograph it? So yeah. So she gave Kenya this book about, Vanessa Williams. I forgot what it was called. But she was trying to be shady, saying that since Cynthia said, were you before or after Vanessa Williams? Even though Cynthia was being funny when she said that, she wants to give Cynthia a book. And Cynthia was like, oh, girl, thank you. I love to read a good book, and I will read it cover to cover. Cynthia has been reading all season. Like, where did this Cynthia come from? Like, this is not the Cynthia that I'm used to. Are y'all used to this Cynthia? I'm liking this Cynthia now. Don't get me wrong. But the season before, she was just like, not saying much and just staying on the side. But this season, she is a reading, honey. She is a reading. But anyway, she was reading. She was like, yes, I'll read this cover to cover. And she told Kenya, what I said was a compliment. Cynthia, how was that a compliment? Come on now. But anyway, at the beach, the little side things they show, like a little clip and go back to commercial. Lord, Nene in this hood ratchet workout with this, it was too much going on. Booty popping and whatever, but they was having fun. So then Cynthia and Kenya went, to talk. They was walking on the beach. They went off to talk. It got a little heated because they was, going back and forth a little bit about Kenya coming to Cynthia's space, for her doing a Jet magazine with her. And, she was talking about coochie crack and all this booty crack and all that. And so Cynthia was like, you don't do that. If I would come into your space to an audition to help you out, I wouldn't do that. And so it got a little heated. And then Kenya just threw a hissy fit like a toddler and just fell out on the sand and was just kicking and like, stop it, make it stop. She's like, why are you talking about stuff that happened 2 months ago? And Cynthia was like, because I thought you wasn't going to be here around any longer. Cynthia, you better read. And then so something is wrong with Kenya. But anyway, so what happened? Oh, like I was saying, Kenya, like I said in my last video, she got a little screws loose up here because, yeah. and she wants somebody to marry her. Child rest. But anyway, so the show ended with the dinner. It was their last night there, so everybody came to dinner. And then Peter told all the guys to stand up. Well, first he told Walter, he was like, "Oh, you're looking good in that pink." And he was like, "Yeah, every man can wear pink." And then King gonna say, "Oh, we're matching," because I guess she had something pink in her dress, and he gave her the side eye that wasn't on purpose. Oop! It looked like Walter is really getting tired of Kenya and her shenanigans. So then Peter told all the guys to stand up, and he was just telling everybody, I got to know, Cordell, me and Apollo, we friends now, and Greg, and then Walter. He was like, "Walter, at first I thought you and Kenya's relationship wasn't real." He tried it. And then so he was like, a little birdie told me you was gonna propose by the end of this trip. Tell me, you got 12 hours, you better get to proposing. He was like, "Oh, let me correct you. I never said that I was going to propose." And oh Lord, that just started. Kenya was like, "Are you drunk? We talked about it." He was like, "Yeah, we talked about it. But that was it. We had to talk about it." So then that was that. So then everybody talked about how they started, how they got proposed to, and dang on Nene was like, "We was hood with it. He proposed to me on I-20. And because they was test driving a BMW that she wanted. He was like, "You want to marry me?" She was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Okay, this car yours." Whoop. And then Apollo wanted to propose. He proposed to Phaedra, but he put the ring in his mouth and he went to kiss her. And she was like, "Ah, what is that?" I would have did the same thing too. Go to kiss you and something hard in your mouth. Oh, yeah, I would have screamed and be like, "Oh, what in the world is going on too?" Like, dude, is your tongue that hard? But anyway, so then Kenya, they was shooting at Kenya, and Kenya was looking lost, like she lost her puppy, like, oh my gosh, really? Are they really telling stories about how they got proposed to? Really? So she got up and she left because she wasn't feeling the proposal stories. So Walter went after her. And then he said, "What's wrong with you?" And she was like, "Everybody talking about propose, and you said you was gonna propose to me." That he was like, "I never said I was going to propose to you. We talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it, but I never said it." And he was getting a little stern in his tone. And she was like, "Why? Who are you yelling at? Why are you yelling?" He was like, "I'm not yelling. I'm just making sure you're hearing me." Like I said, Walter is getting tired of Kenya. So then she was like, "You know what? I'm leaving." So he walks. He was like, "Can you make sure she get on the bus all right?" Walter, you tried it. But anyway, so after Walter went back to the table, and Nene was like, "I think you're kind of leading her on." He was like, "No, we talked about it, and we just said, what would we do if we was to get married? Would we have a big wedding? Would we go to the courthouse, or would we get elope?" And he's like, we would get elope. We would elope. And so, yeah, he was just like, "I never said that I was definitely going to propose." I'm like, Kenya, I think she just talked about this marriage thing and ran with it. Like they were telling her, you have to be patient. You can't force a man to propose to you. It's never going to happen. It's just going to be a sinking ship. And that's what she's doing to Walter. Even though we all know the relationship is fake in the beginning, because she asked him to come play her boyfriend on the show. So after Kenya was gone for a while, Phaedra went to go look for her. So she went, and Lord, Kenya was crying her eyes out. So Phaedra was like, "Girl, come on now. These men crazy. Come on." And then so Apollo had to go see where his woman was going. So he came, he was like, he just told her the man's side. You can't do that. You can't force somebody. You can't keep talking about it. You're beating a dead horse. If you keep talking about it, it's never going to happen. And the man just going to check out and be like, "Deuces, I don't got time for this. You trying to pressure me?" And he was like, "You can't do that, Kenya." And so, yes. So she was like, "Okay, all right. Phaedra, you're my BFF. I know that's why we get along. We got so much in common. And they walked off in the sunset. Child. So, yes. Kenya. She, for her to be, Miss USA or former Miss USA and, have all these dealings and businesses and stuff, the way she acted on the show, I'm surprised somebody want to, still do business with her because the way she acted on the show. So anyway, that was my review. It was a key show. And I can't wait till next week when they're talking about Apollo and Phaedra getting a divorce and their marriage, on the rocks a little bit. So I can't wait to see that. So, as always, thank you for watching. Please subscribe up top. Please thumbs up. Please comment. And follow me on Twitter at ScoopWithCoop and Instagram at ScoopWithCoop. And I hope everyone have a happy holiday. God bless. Bye-bye.